Good evening. Our panel of experts are with us once again tonight. Mr. G.L. Spoon, Miss Edna St. Louis, Missouri, and Dr. Linus Quartz. I'm your moderator, Fulbrook Mason. Now, to meet the panelists, first of all, Dr. Quartz, I believe you received your doctor's degree at MIT. What was your field?
I received my doctor's degree in Little Orphan Annie. That was my major. My minor was Little Abner.
Next, Miss Edna St. Louis, Missouri, who received her master's degree in Tarzan.
Yes, the subject of my thesis for my master's degree was Tarzan and the Apes and his influence on the 20th century culture.
All right. Yes. Now, our third panelist, G.L. Spoon, a roving reporter. And you covered the comic strips, didn't you?
That's right. The funnies are my beat, yeah.
And what school did you attend?
Well, I didn't attend any school as such. Let's just say I'm from the School of Hard Knocks. That's not original, but it's very apt.
I see.
I may not have any doctor's degrees like some other people around here, but I'll go on the $64,000 question anytime with my subject.
And that is?
Dick Tracy.
I don't see any reason to go around there with a chip on your shoulder, Mr. Spoon.
Look, I haven't got any chip on my
You
shoulder.
have a chip on your shoulder. It's
I do
obvious.
I do not have a chip on my shoulder, Dr. Coit. I don't have to go to college to learn about Dick Tracy.
Gentlemen, if you have anything to say, please raise your hand. Please raise your hand. Now then, the first question today is sent in by a listener is, why doesn't Tarzan do as much swinging as he used to? Dr. Coit?
Too old for it.
Oh, no, wait a minute, Doctor. Tarzan's my subject. Furthermore, he's not too old.
Man is too old.
No. It's just that his vines aren't so good as they used to be.
Look, actually, I think we can dispense with that vine stuff, Miss Missouri. We all know that he uses ropes.
Oh, wait a minute. He doesn't use ropes. I guess I ought to know.
Yeah.
Tarzan uses real, genuine ropes.
See?
I mean, he uses vines.
Well,
See,
look,
you've got me all
vines
mixed up.
are ropes. The fact is, a 72-year-old man is not going to go swinging across the ravine.
Sweetheart, you
the
don't
man
know.
is
I know,
Wait a minute. Speaking of people's ages, I don't think Little Orphan Annie will ever see 45 again at
Just a
the
moment.
Wait a minute. Now, she's getting a little senile. I mean, I noticed that in her dialogue
A
balloon.
little senile, eh?
Yeah.
Well, I think the way she's handling those criminals in the canyon there, it doesn't look like the work of an old lady, does it?
All right, now, let's
I don't think an
that's
old
the time.
lady,
Yes, we get on to the next.
Whip those
But
criminals.
she's a nice old lady.
Could we please have anything?
Carl is 8 years old.
I know. We get on to the next question. I think we have completed that
She
question.
dyes her hair. She got a
Yes,
red
she
wig.
dyes
She dyes her hair.
Oh, you're a real card tonight, aren't you? Yes, you know. That one. Mr. Spoon, did you have your hand up?
I certainly did. In fact, it went to sleep.
Oh.
If we're going to talk about criminals here, I think we should leave that to the Dick Tracy expert.
Oh, that's it. That's a wonderful idea. All right, now here's our next question. Is Morin Plenty really guilty of the triple murder?
Now we're getting somewhere.
Never mind that.
The
It's
thing-
dull stuff. Dull.
What do you
very
mean, dull?
Not dull. Let's talk about some of the Orphan Annie characters. Punjab, for instance. Now, there's a man.
Oh, Punjab.
Punjab, it sounds like a
What
misprint.
phony, that Punjab. Could he drop a leopard with a 4-inch letter opener?
Listen, he just dropped his
asked-
cloak over the leopard.
Wait a minute,
Oh,
wait a minute,
come
wait a
on,
minute,
Tarzan.
wait a minute.
Don't say-
Wait a minute, I got my hand up. I got my...
One at a time.
Look,
Spoon, please.
I was
You
not...
got your hand up. Go ahead.
All right,
You don't.
Listen.
Your hand's still asleep.
You let me talk, I'll have to learn the language all over. Listen. I was under the impression we were talking about Dick Tracy.
That's correct.
Are we going to play the game?
Yeah.
No, the man
If
has...
Dick Tracy is such a world beater, how come he let Morin Plenty's sister-in-law put a .38 caliber bullet in his skull?
Yeah, how about
now,
that?
How come that?
It was a 22 short, and it was just a flesh wound. It didn't actually enter the skull.
Oh,
He had a lobotomy,
Shall we
didn't he?
just a moment? Shall we just stick to the question?
enters the man's
please?
skull.
I just want your opinion.
That girl in the skimpy dress shot him in the head, and
ladies and gentlemen of the radio audience, these are the opinions of our panelists and do not necessarily represent the opinions of CBS Radio and its affiliates. Now, the question is, the question is now, is Morin Plenty guilty? Miss Missouri?
Guilty.
Dr. Coyd?
Not guilty.
Mr. Spoon?
I can't express my opinions on this because I may be called in as an expert witness at the time of the trial.
I guess we have a hung jury here tonight. Yeah. Well, the next question, subject, is wardrobe.
Wardrobe.
Yes, wardrobe. Does or does not Orphan Annie have more than one red dress? Oh, Dr. Coy's hand shot up. You're first.
Yes. The man who has received his doctor's degree in Little Orphan Annie.
You have got to keep rubbing that in, don't you?
I'm not rubbing it in, sir. I'm merely stating a fact. I have a
all
doctor's
right,
degree.
please.
That is a
Dr.
fact.
Coy had his
Yep.
hand, up at first.
All right, yeah.
And
When he was a little kid, he was a little fat, spoiled kid. I can tell the type.
Listen, sir, would you like to step outside?
just a minute, gentlemen, please.
All right.
Hold your hand till we get off the Dr. Coy, you had your hand up, please.
To continue,
Yes, he didn't mean that.
may I please?
Dr.
I happen to know that Annie has a whole closet full of dresses. It's not the same dress. She changes them daily.
Daily? Oh, please. I can recognize the same dress day in and day out.
Madam, they are different. They are different dresses. That is a fact. Take it from me. That's my subject. She breaks them up with a nice little blue sweater, chic belt and scarf every once in a while.
And how does she break up those chic little white cotton stockings?
Wait a
Now,
minute.
she hasn't changed those stockings in 25 years.
I take that as a personal affront, sir.
That's-
Personal affront.
I intended it as so.
Even if it were the same pair of stockings, I think Annie would rinse them out every night. It's so like her. It's so like her.
Oh, so like it.
She rinses them out. Take it from her.
I hold it.
She doesn't wear shoes anymore.
Listen, madam, you should look that good in white cotton stockings. Rinsed or unrinsed?
Hey, White, that Daddy Warbucks is a pretty wealthy guy, right?
Only one of the top billionaires in the world, that's all. That's all.
Well, then why doesn't he spring for a few bucks and get her a home permanent?
Yes, I do. It really looks like a rat's nest.
A rat's nest, eh? Listen, madam, I noticed the Marcel has gone out of Tarzan's hair lately.
Well, he passed
you
the
kidding?
fingernail test.
Well, he's wearing a hairpiece.
What did you say?
He's wearing a hairpiece.
Tarzan was
Tarzan
wearing
is
a
wearing a hairpiece.
Well, I suppose that crew cut that Dick Tracy affected is a derriere cree.
Oh, no. Oh, look at this gal. You hit a man when he's down and wounded.
He's up.
He'll probably get amnesia.
No, the man's back on his feet, and serves him right, the big jerk.
Big jerk.
That goes for Tarzan, too.
Oh, now, just
Oh, now
a minute.
listen here, Dr.
I-
White Stockings.
You insulted
No,
little woman, Annie.
please,
Let
please,
her
please,
hold,
please,
madam.
please, Dick Tracy.
People, our time
Bring
is up.
Sandy in, that's all.
You're right.
And the great animals of our time.
Yes, it is. I'm very sure. And
That's a museum
Yes,
piece.
Don't have
thank
his
you,
own
but
show.
people. And that concludes another episode of our panel show, Face the Funnies. Now it's good night to Mr. G.L. Spoon.
If vandals kidnap you, look for fingerprints on or about your person. That's a crime stopper.
Oh, indeed it is. And Dr. Linus Coit.
Yai. Arf, arf. Glorioski, it's been grand being here.
Finally, Mrs. Edna St. Louis, Missouri.
Me, panelist, you, moderator.
And so it's good night until next week.
Listen,
Now,
madam,
listen,
I'd like to
Dick
take up
Tracy.
the white
Once again, it's time to meet our panel of experts who are back with us tonight as we ran over 2 weeks ago and we did not finish our discussion. I'm glad that you could be back with us, Dr. Linus Coit,
Thank you. It's nice being back.
Mr. G.L. Spoon,
Good evening, friends in Radioland.
and finally, Mrs. Edna St. Louis, Missouri.
The pleasure's all mine. Although it does seem to me I got second billing last time.
Yes.
After all, I do have a master's degree in Tarzan.
Yes, indeed, Miss Missouri. Well, be that it may, we're not going to bring up tonight any of the other things we discussed 2 weeks ago. For example, whether or not Orphan Annie has one red dress and one pair of long white cotton stockings that she washes daily and wears over and over, or many red dresses and many white cotton stockings?
I know that one.
Oh, Doctor, I know you do. I know you do. But
I do know that answer.
Yes, I know you do. But we won't go into that, shall
I
we?
didn't get a doctor's degree in Little Orphan Annie for nothing.
Yes, well,
Boy, you know, this guy's really got to rub in that doctor's degree.
Yeah, well,
doesn't
shall
he,
we
every
shall
time?
we move ahead
Well,
to other
it's not
questions
trying to rub it
tonight? But we promised
rubs
that.
it in.
Yeah, I know we did. Now, shall we? Well, you promised. Now, you promised. You gave me your word out in the hall before we went on the air that we wouldn't have any kind of discussion.
Yes,
Huh?
that's absolutely
Oh,
true.
thank you.
Let's pass the peace pipe here, for goodness sake. Yeah. Now, I've received my master's degree in
Oh,
Tarzan,
boy.
and you insulted the ideal of my life when you said Tarzan was 72 years old and wore a hairpiece.
Well, it does. I'll apologize if Mr. Spoon will.
Oh, that's
Yeah, well, okay, look, I'm sorry. I'll take back what I said about Tarzan's hairpiece. If you will apologize publicly for calling Dick Tracy a big jerk.
Well, of course,
Listen, Tracy happens to be, and the biographers will agree, one of the greatest living American heroes. And he's just recovering from a severe head wound as well.
well, I'm terribly sorry. I apologize.
Oh,
I
yes,
do.
indeed. Aren't we getting along famously here tonight?
Well, it's very nice of you. It's very
Yes,
nice. And believe me, Miss Missouri, I didn't mean to insult Tarzan. Between you and I,
Between you and me, Mr.
ooh, that education.
It's rather nice of her to do that to you.
Between you and I, he's a great ape man, and truthfully, if you didn't get right up there on the newspaper with a magnifying glass, you couldn't tell he wears a wig.
Where's a wig?
Yeah, he does wear a wig.
You should have as much hair on your bear skin rug.
Well, I don't think it's
Listen,
Now, please,
you
people,
have
shall we
eyes.
simmer
That's hitting
down
below the
and
belt,
simmer,
man.
shall we? Promise out in the hall, no more discussion.
Put us on slow
Yes,
boil.
sorry. Now we'll go to our first question tonight. It's in Dick Tracy. Now, this is the question: does or does not Junior wear a fright wig?
Well, the answer to that has to be negative.
Negative.
It's the boy's own hair, and it certainly doesn't take Dick Tracy to figure out where that question came from, Miss Missouri.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Spoon. I had nothing to do with that.
Oh no,
Look,
those questions.
people,
Well,
look,
I
no, just a
called
moment.
him
Send in,
Mr.
Here, I have a,
Mr.
minute,
Spoon.
Send.
I have something to say.
Doctor.
Listen, people.
Yes.
Be that as it may, it is a fright wig on the boy.
It is not a fright wig on
It's
the
a
boy.
fright
Listen,
wig.
It is not. It's the same hair that any 12-year-old boy would
12-year-old
wear.
Come on,
boy?
12-year-old.
Certainly.
Why, he's older than Little Orphan Annie.
I take that as a personal affront, madam.
Why, the stockings
So
off.
then,
Please.
we've been all through this. If anybody should be drawing Social Security, it's you and Tarzan. This woman should look that good in white cotton stockings.
Please, watch.
Look,
Yes,
Junior, the
Mr.
subject
Spoon.
is Junior, right?
That's right.
He's a normal American boy that any mother would be proud to call her son. He's got a good head on his shoulders. He's an artistic boy as well. How many boys do you know who could sketch pictures for the crime lab like he does?
Well,
Don't make me sick to my stomach. You don't believe that kid really draws those pictures, do you?
Of course he draws those pictures.
Oh, boy.
What do you mean?
Oh, boy. Listen, he's got a ghost artist, and if he does draw them, I could take that cigar of yours and draw a better picture with the ash. I could. Believe me, I
Don't give me
could.
that.
Gentlemen, we are having just a little bit of fun at the round table tonight, aren't we?
Oh, it's lots of fun. Yes.
I'd like to say it's Sandy. Sandy.
Sandy,
if I may
that
just-
idiot animal.
Please.
How would you like me to punch you in that big, fat, uneducated nose?
Now,
You
gentlemen,
let him
please,
have
let's
it,
go.
Doctor,
Fine,
that's
please,
right.
no, let's move on to the
boy.
next subject now, shall we?
All right, let's
Now,
go,
here,
let's-
could or could not Buck Rogers beat Flash Gordon in a ray gun fight?
Tarzan could make monkeys out of both of them.
Take him against Punjab and Mr. Am with his disintegrator cane, and it'd be a one-sided affair, I'll tell you that.
Now, listen, I happen to live by the Dick Tracy Code, and we're here to stop ray gun fights, not to encourage them. If you're talking about a showdown in self-defense, Tracy can wipe up Rogers, Gordon, Punjab, Sandy, and the antique ape man. And he can do it with Cardui under one arm and a bandaged head.
Why, you viper! You are a viper!
Man!
Listen, I'll thank you to please leave Wentworth and Annie.
Now, down, Sandy, down. Well, once again, that concludes another chapter of Face the Fun. Sandy, down, Sandy. First of all, it's good night to Mr. G.L. Spoon.
If someone shoots you in the chest, extract the bullet and look for small telltale bore markings on the slug, and then call a doctor. That's Crime Stopper.
Yes, indeed. And it's good night to Dr. Linus Coit.
Leaping lizards. Some folks don't realize just how lucky they are until some other folks shows them how much they've got. Little Orphan Annie, King Feature Syndicate, 1947.
And finally, our Tarzan expert, Miss Edna St. Louis, Missouri. Now come down off the curtain there now. Now help her off the curtain.
Unladylike thing to do.
That isn't.